Vitamin Water Zero Sugar has great taste, zero BS, and, obviously, zero sugar. For those with zero room in their calendar. Zero patience for slow walkers. Those who get 0 hours of sleep on a Saturday night. Have zero filter, zero given, and zero interest in grabbing a plain, boring water. Grab a delicious Vitamin Water Zero Sugar today.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I wanted to ask that question, but more so ask the question and also to answer the question for myself, because you know, if you let somebody else answer it, they're not going to give you a legitimate answer. That's one thing that I've learned throughout my tenure of being a content creator, is that people always want their voices to be, I guess, louder than somebody that they're talking. I gotta turn my fan down real quick because it's distracting and stuff. But no, that's the thing though. It's like people they think that their voices are louder than others. And I'm like, fam, you can't go throughout your life thinking that your voice is going to be louder than somebody else, or your words is going to matter more than somebody else. There's always going to be a person to kick you out of your throne and stuff, you know? And that's the thing where it's like, you got to pick and choose the areas that you, I guess, feel comfortable in. And it ain't really about like being in control, but it's just environments where you're welcome, environments where you're not seeking an argument. And that's one thing that I've learned throughout like my content creating career, is that a lot of people like to argue. They don't even have like their reasons for arguing. It's like it's like a statistic thing. It's like a gamer score, you know, like, or an achievement hunt. And it's like, oh, beat TMossBoss at an argument. And that's the thing with stuff like that. It's, you know, like, I guess like the times where if I've quote unquote lost an argument, it's just that I'm not interested, you know, like I don't really look at it as losing. But I guess if people want to say like, oh, I lost an argument against whoever, and it's like, all right, if you want to believe that, but you ain't. The thing is this, and I think when they say things like that, they're expecting to convince whoever it is, like me, I guess, for an example, they're expecting to convince me that they won the argument. But it's like, okay, if we're going to sit down and I guess have an equal like argument, we're gonna have an equal fight. That's the thing. There ain't no winners or losers. You have your mind made up and I have my mind made up. So that's why when I look at a lot of the arguments that I've been involved in, it's like people that, again, they want their words to matter more than my words. And I'm like, that's not how an argument goes. Your words are not going to matter more than the words that are coming out of my mouth. That doesn't even make any sense, I guess, for an argument. But the times where I've been in friendly arguments, you know, where it's like me and a friend, we're talking, because it was just me and my friend, we got the arguing last night. He thinks that the Rampage Jackson, his son, the Raja Jackson, and the Psycho Stu situation, he thinks that it's fake. I'm trying to explain to him that it's not fake. Like, if you watch wrestling, you'll be able to tell the difference between fake hits and what Raja Jackson was doing to that wrestler. But me and my friend, we got the thing is this, and even in that situation, he has his mind made up, I have my mind made up. Now, I guess he's trying to convince me that it's fake, I'm trying to convince him that it's real. And at the end of the day, it's one of those things where when evidence is provided, when proof is shown, then I feel like that's when the individual can have a I guess like a win in their book with the argument. But that's the thing though, you can't fake the evidence, you can't fake the proof, you can't have it where, oh, it's my it ain't like factual evidence and factual proof. No, it's your opinion motivated proof and evidence and stuff. No, bruh, the thing is this, whatever your opinion, hold on for a second, I'm getting a text message real quick, give me one moment. Didn't expect to be as gone for as long as I did. Yeah, it's like you guys, y'all are just hearing this after a second or two. I'm like, yeah, I was gone for a minute, you know. But and I'm trying to remember what I was talking about. But anyways, I think we just gonna have to improvise and stuff. But yeah, let's get to it. Let's just get to overall the question, you know, for this podcast episode. Am I good at arguments? I would say yes and no, because the thing is this, I don't seek out arguments. You know, people come to me and they want to argue about stuff. I don't like arguing with people. I don't like having it where it's like, oh, they want their opinion to matter more than my opinion. If you got your mind made up about something, fam, I'm not trying to take that away from you. But I can sit down and think of numerous occasions where it's been with family, friends, content creating situations where I'm like, bro, why am I even involved in this? Like, that's one thing, like, you know, with my family is that we like to get into arguments where it's like we're just joking around. But there have been at times where it's like we done got into some arguments and stuff where we're not joking around. Like, you know, they got their mind made up about stuff. Like, for an example, content creating, you know, like it took me a while to convince them that, you know, content creating, it's a good thing for me. They just thought, oh, you just sitting around not doing nothing. And I'm like, fam, I'm not having to ask nobody for nothing. I'm not bothering nobody. I'm not getting in any trouble. Yeah, you may see something on TV or on the internet where it's content creators out there getting in trouble. That's not me, fam. I'm in the comfort of my home chilling. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's like I didn't got into arguments about that. What else? Oh yeah, and my family then tried to get on me about buying. They didn't got on me about buying because they think that the purchases is like I'm just fooling around and stuff. But I remember they tried to get on me about buying the PlayStation 4 when they were coming out, because I had just started working in Seattle, so they wanted me to start saving. And it's like, okay, I need to have a backup plan just in case I don't want to work at this place no more, because I already had it made up in my mind that same year. I'm like, I don't want to work here no more. I'm getting into it with co-workers. I'm getting there's some rude customers. I'm like, I ain't trying to be involved in an environment where it's like you know, my anger is going to get the best of me. But it did. That's one thing I will say though, is that job, it did teach me patience, you know. So yeah, it's like people, I think if I ever were to find myself working another 9 to 5 again, it's like, yeah, it's I think my patience is still there. I've learned, I've gotten older, I'm a little bit more wiser and all that stuff. But yeah, it's like even talking about that place, like I got into it with the supervisor, and that's the thing. I knew I was on the wrong end of the argument. You know, she wants the best for me, but meanwhile, I'm in this rebellious mindset, you know. So yeah, it was like I knew that the thing is this, at the time being, no, I wanted to be right, but at the same time, it's like I knew that I wasn't. And as I got older, I'm like, yeah, bro, I knew I was in the wrong. I can't get into it with my supervisor and then be telling her what I'm gonna do and not do and stuff. So yeah, that's why I'm like, you know, shout out to my old supervisor, you know, because yeah, she definitely she was one of those people where it's like she definitely portrayed out her like mother figure, and I think that's good. I think that all jobs, they need to have somebody like that. They need to have like some sort of mother figure, you know, to kick you off your high horse and let you know, like, hey, bruh, you ain't him. Like you is a 9 to 5 worker. All right, like snap out of whatever mindset that you're in. But me and her done got into arguments. And I have to say, like, when I was younger, yeah, oh yeah, I lived for arguments, you know. Like, that was one thing about it. It's like you possibly can't even find like tweets of me going back and forth with people from like back in the day and stuff, because it was somewhere it was like it was easy to do. It was easy to just go back and forth with people. But then as I got older, I realized I'm like, this is just pointless, you know. Like, the thing is this, when you find the time to focus on yourself and to focus on what you like, whatever it is that you got going on, whether it's you wanting to be more involved with the hobby, or whether you done discovered a career. And I think that's what it had a lot to do with, was that I discovered content creating. So I didn't have the time to be sitting around arguing with people. Yeah, there would be at times like where I guess like I would, if arguing got involved with my content creating career, then I'm like, okay, I'm just going to address whatever I need to address in the video and then just leave it at that, you know, throw my haymaker hits. But that was one thing that I learned over the years, is that you can say whatever, you can do whatever, you can show whatever in the video, it ain't gonna mean nothing. For an example, Just a Robot, you know, he tried to argue that he ain't a racist, even though I provided evidence that I'm like, okay, you might have not came out and said the N-word in videos and all that stuff, or calling me the N-word and things, but your fans, on the other hand, has. So something's gotta give. I'm like, what's up with that? Like, the thing is this, and you can say, oh, it's only been some of your fans, but it's like, all right, what's motivating them to be racist, you know? So yeah, you make a video on somebody. I think that's another thing too. It's like, you know, you make videos on people and it's an arguing type video and stuff. Like, yeah, that's you're trying to. And the thing is this, I guess, like, with situations like that, people will make it seem like that they ain't trying to seek out no argument. They thinking that, oh, I'm just making a video just trying to hit you with some actual factuals. And it's like, no, you're allowing your own personal feelings to get the best of you, and you want other people to also agree with those feelings. That's not arguing. Arguing is, okay, So let's say we sit down, we're having like our like the first conversation ever. Like there ain't no insults or none of that stuff. And that's the thing, like he'll insult you and then turn around and make it seem like that, oh, I'm not saying anything wrong, I'm not doing anything wrong. But it's like, I guess like how if I'm, you know, arguing with somebody, or if there's like, let's say I go out on the internet and say Saints Row 2 is better than Grand Theft Auto 5, you know, and there's going to be a lot of people wanting to argue with me over that. They're going to be like, nah, bro, that's something where it's like, I'm allowing my personal opinion, but let's say the sales were better than Grand Theft Auto 5. Let's say that the game had more gameplay. There was more things to do in Saints Row 2 and stuff. So, then if I have evidence to showcase that and things, then there'll probably be people, but even then still, I feel like that it's still something where people are going to allow their own personal opinion. So that's why I'm like, overall, the bottom line that like, I feel like the main thing that people need to stop doing is stop arguing with people, you know, because at the end of the day, it's like people got their mind made up. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day what you like or what you don't like or the facts and all that stuff. Like, and I guess like in some cases and situations, yes, the facts and the proof, it is going to matter, you know. And even if the person tries to downplay it, it's like, nah, bro, you can't I think that's just somebody where it's like, I guess like going back to the Just a Robot situation on him being a racist, him and his fans being a racist, he wants to downplay it and make it seem like that, like, no, that's not the case, or it doesn't matter. No, that's just him, like, where he's in a checkmate position where he doesn't want to lose the argument and stuff. And it's like, fam, the thing is this: if proof and all that stuff has been provided, it's like you can't. And then that's the thing too, where it's like if proof, if proof is provided and it's shown, you can't play it off and make it seem like that, oh, that's not enough, or it doesn't matter, or that's not good, and all this other stuff. Yeah, in your eyes, it's not gonna matter. In your eyes, it's not gonna be good enough or whatever and things. But that's the thing though, others will see. And they gonna be like, fam, what you got going on? So I think like, yeah, when they just find themselves in them checkmate positions and stuff, yeah, it's like, it's, of course they gonna try to like brush it off, and they just don't want to lose the argument. But it's like, fam, that's the thing. And I guess like, even if it is a situation where an individual, because I know I done lost my fair share of arguments, I've accepted that. I've moved on. You know, it ain't no different than a UFC fighter losing the fight, or a football team losing a game, or basketball, soccer, or whatever, you know. But it ain't no different than that, you know. It's just that I guess like if we're using argument, like an argument example for a football game, they had better, I guess they had a better argument, you know, to where it's like you just gotta admit, yeah, I lost this argument, you know. But that's the thing, I think like people they confuse arguing with debating. Like, in a way, like, yeah, that's what debating is. It's, you know, two parties arguing with each other. But at least, like, I feel like with debating is that they know that there's a winner and a loser. Like, when you look at those, like, political debates for, like, you know, being the president, it's like they don't determine that, but it's one of those things that's going to lead to you winning, like, the presidential race and things. But, yeah, it's like arguing, that's like when you're trying to, yeah, you are throwing insults, you're saying, like, because I feel like over the years, like, yeah, arguing has definitely gotten into the mix of debating. Debating, I feel like it was a little bit more, it was just a professionalized version of arguing and stuff. Arguing, on the other hand, it was like, yeah, people will insult you and all this other stuff, but then it's like you call people out on that, where it's like you're insulting, you're saying this, you're saying that, you're just saying some out of pocket stuff. People want to say, oh no, we're just having a friendly debate. When was it, like, you know, that's the funny thing is like just the times where I done got into quote unquote friendly debates with people and stuff. I'm like, what does my race have to do with the friendly debate? You know, what does childhood trauma have to do with a friendly debate? I'm trying to think of some other stuff that my content creating career, you know, whether it's the views or the subscribers or whatever, it's like, what does that have to do with the debate? You know, so it's like I guess you're more so, if we're using my content creating career as an example, you're trying to say that I'm not a good content creator. Okay, we're going to debate on that. So show me where I'm not a good content creator. It's my videos. Okay, you don't like my videos. Again, that's when it's like people that want to use their opinion, you know, over people that are actually sitting down and watching my videos and they're a fan of my content. You know, you can't speak for those people or think that your words is going to matter than somebody that is actually a fan of mine. You're not a fan. That's okay. I could accept that. But it's something where if you're trying to turn it into an argument or a debate, then it's like, yeah, you're winning by default because you have, that's the thing people need to also stop doing, is stop starting arguments where it's like you're setting it like on a difficulty, like you're trying to treat it as a video game. You're setting it on a difficulty where it's like, oh, this is easy, oh, I could definitely win this because this I already have my stuff. You're trying to argue with somebody that don't care. I'm like, okay, you don't like my content, and it's like it's one of those things where I feel like that when you're arguing with somebody and you're having, I guess, like you throw like that haymaker response to them where it's like they are like, oh, I hate your content, I hate all the things that you stand for, this and that, blah blah blah, and it's like, okay, and like, what am I supposed to do with that information? Like, what am I supposed to? And the funny thing is, you see some stuff like that, like I guess in like a presidential debate, like, yeah, let's say it was this like past debate with Joe Biden and Donald Trump, where let's say Donald Trump looked over at Joe Biden and he was all like, oh, I hate the way that you dress, I hate the cars that you drive and all this other stuff. Then he's like, okay, and what does that got to do with anything? It's like, what does that have to do, I guess, with why we're all here and stuff? Then yeah, it's again checkmate situation. How can Trump get out of out of that move and stuff, or out of that situation? So yeah, man, it's just, you know, there's people out there where it's like, I just think that there are some people that they think that they're cut out for arguing when they're not. It's like, yeah, bro, you got to leave the arguing stuff, I guess, to a person that's good at that type of stuff. They're, you know, study arguing and debating. Well, more so debating, but arguing is like it's different than debating. I'll say that much about it. But yeah, there'll be people that'll probably hear this and then they'll be all like, oh, it's like, no, debating and arguing, it's the same thing, blah blah. Everybody got their own opinion. I'm not trying to take away your opinion. If you got your opinion on something, okay, cool. Have that opinion, hold that opinion, you know, take care of it, you know, but at the end of the day, others are going to have their opinion on stuff. You can't change their opinion on it, or I guess argue with them to an extent where it's like you're trying to change their opinion. People got their mind made up on stuff. That's like going into a restaurant, somebody's ordering their favorite dish, and you're trying to tell them like, oh, this isn't a good dish. Like you need to order something else. It's like you're in. You know what the funny thing is? I just remember there was this time I've talked about this this GameStop story, but anyways, there's this one dude that worked at GameStop's. He was a problem. I'm pretty sure he got fired because of how he just overall acted with people and stuff. Because I mean, even just the interaction that we had, he thought that he thought Kid Me came all the way up there to use my money that I earned to buy a GameStop's Power Up Rewards card instead of a video game. And mind you, this is when GameStop's was GameStop's. This is when GameStop's had like it looked like a Blockbuster, but just filled with video games. So yeah, they had like both walls just filled with video games, and then they might have had like the accessories in the back and stuff. So anyways, yeah, I go up there. He's all like, "Oh, get this Power Rewards card and all this." I'm like, "Bro, I'm not up here for that. Okay, I don't care about no power. I care about video games, bro. I can't play no video game. My thing is this. What do you think I came up here for? You think I came up here for Saints Row the Third? That was the game that I was trying to get. Saints Row the Third or a Power Up Rewards card. My thing is this. You go into, let's just say you go up into a movie theater. Let's say this is a movie that you've been waiting to see for years now. Movie finally comes out. And, I'm trying to think of, let's just say IMAX, they got like their own theater and things. Because they got like the screens, but let's just say like they get like IMAX has their own theater. You go off in there and they're like, oh, become a IMAX member and stuff. Don't buy a ticket to go see the movie. No, just buy this membership card, and now you don't have enough money to go see the movie. And it's like, fam, do you think this person waited all this time to come all the way up here? Because yeah, that's what the guy, he was all like, you could just buy the game another day. I could just buy the card another day. He's trying to get me to save money for a game that it's like I'm not even gonna get the same day. It's like, man, get out of here with that. So anyways, I go ahead, but there was another day where I went in there, and the guy, he was trying to have it where his own personal opinion mattered than what the guy wanted to get. But so I'm in there, I'm looking at the games. I knew I wasn't going to get nothing because I'm like, he's the only cashier that's working. I'm not buying nothing. So anyways, old dude comes in, he's all like, oh, I want to get, I think it was, let's just say he wanted to get Resident Evil 6. The guy was all like, oh, Resident Evil 6 is a horrible game, you should get Resident Evil 5. That old dude, he just said, okay, he walked out of there. He's like, I'm not buying no games. The thing is this, you do not turn business away. If it's good business, because I feel like that he was probably just wanting to get people to get the power up rewards card or a video game, because it was like, maybe it's like some sort of goal. Oh, sell one of these Resident Evil games, or sell this Resident Evil game, you'll get like a small little bonus on your check or something. Or if you sell enough power up reward cards, yeah, you get a bonus on your check. Fam, that's the thing though. I don't care about that. I don't care about your bonus. I care about this video game that I'm trying to get. So that's what I'm saying. There's like people in this world that they expect you to listen to them over whatever you got going on within yourself. And it's like, it don't work like that. It's never worked like that. So anyways, but yeah, overall, you know, just I guess to end this episode off and things, it's like, people, stop arguing, stop debating, especially when that stuff ain't even needed or necessary 99.9% of the time when you conversating with somebody. But yeah, I'm like, leave just that scene of this world alone, you know, like arguing and debating and all that stuff. That's a trend that needs to just die off, you know, people looking for arguments and stuff. But anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys. And I guess like to answer that question, am I good at arguments? I would say yes and no. Like it's, you know, I would say I'm good at arguments when I need to argue about something, but of course I'm gonna be bad in an argument where it's like you already got your mind made up. You pretty much set an argument up for me to lose. So obviously, yes, I am gonna be bad at that argument and stuff. But anyways, yeah, but with that being said, talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service, and peace.